Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawk. We are LA.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the San Diego Padres. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Labor Day holiday to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Padres have met 12 times this year. Dodgers have won 8 of the 12. 5 of the games have decided by 1 run. For the Dodgers, Joe Blanton trying to win his second as a Dodger. He'll go up against a young San Diego team featuring a 25-year-old left-hander, Andrew Werner, in his 3rd Major League game. He has played against Pittsburgh and Atlanta, and he is 1-1. For the Dodgers, of course, trying to catch up. The Giants 4.5 at the start of the day. San Diego 14.5 games back. Will be featuring 3 left-handers throughout the series. Dodgers, by the way, are 9 games above 500 against left-handers. We'll get to the ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this.
It's our Think Cure weekend, the Padres and the Dodgers, start of 3, and it's been a huge success already raising money on our Think Cure weekend. We are not done. Please help out. You can text, donate $10. You can also call or visit the website, thinkcure.org. This information will be given you throughout the night and our Dodgers Live postgame show with Steve Lyons, Patrick O'Neill. Big win for the Dodgers yesterday. Giants already won today in 10. Running out of time, but can they build some momentum off of what we saw?
Yeah, last couple of nights have been pretty good. The Giants continue to win, but we already talked about the fact that they have such an easy schedule. This wasn't a whole lot of fun. You see a lot more of this, and this is just getting soaked. I tried to hide behind Aegon there, but then I didn't see Big Matt Kemp coming. I'm not so sure that Aegon got more of that than I did. But, as I said, I'm happy to get wet if they keep playing the way they're playing right now. It's not like they scored a ton of runs, but they scored just enough. I think that offense is about getting ready to explode on someone.
Yeah, and you know what? There's smiles now. You know what? And 2-0 so far in September. So that's what they need. They got to play loose. There's been some pressure with all these big names joining this team.
Yeah, and that's what Hanley said. He said September's our month. We're going to go on a run, 2-0 so far. They are playing a lot more fun baseball, and that's what you need. You got to go out there and have some fun.
Yeah, I like calling them must-wins. I know it's not necessarily. I'm just going to go ahead and call tonight a must-win. We'll be here for our Dodgers Live post-game show. Make sure you join us then on this Think Cure weekend. Enjoy the game. Vince next.
Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Play $250,000 Sports Watch football at San Manuel. It's free to play. And by Resident Evil Retribution in 3D in theaters September 14th. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Labor Day holiday to you, wherever you are. Hope you'll be a safe and sane holiday celebrant as we open up the seal on Game 1 of the 3-game series with the Padres. For the Dodgers, they get a jolt. Marco Scutero's 11th career walk-off hit kept a giant comeback, and they wound up winning. They led 4-0 behind Barry Zito. The Giants then trailed 7-4 in the 7th. They scored runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and Buster Posey doubled in to force it into extra innings, and the Giants pulled it out. So the Dodgers 5 games behind as they take the field. It would revert to 4.5 if they win. By the way, we were delighted to have with us tonight and this afternoon Gabby Douglas, Michaela Maroney, and Kyla Ross, members of the 2012 Olympic gold medal winning gymnastics team. The so-called Fierce Five, nothing fierce about them, but they did net 5 medals in London, including the team gold and Gabby's individual all-around gold and Michaela's vault silver. Well, for Bud Black, he's not talking so much about gold. He's talking about winning a ball game and having some fun gesturing over towards the Dodger dugout. For the Padres, here are the names on Bud's lineup card. Everett Cabrera, the shortstop, Will Venable in right field, and Chase Headley at third base. Yonder Alonso at first. Chris Denorfia is in left field. Carlos Quentin with a balky right knee, unable to play. Cameron Maben is in center. Alexi Amarista at second base. John Baker behind the plate, and the pitcher, 25-year-old Andrew Werner. On the mound for the Dodgers, Joe Blanton. He has a record of 9-12. He is 1-3 as far as his work with the Dodgers. Came off a victory in Colorado in his last start. 0-1 against San Diego, and Joe is 2-2 lifetime against the Padres. Well, if you want to know what it's like to play baseball for a living in Colorado, talk to the San Diego Padres. Yesterday, the Padres had 20 hits in the game, 20, and lost 11-10. So they're coming off a hot hitting game, if nothing else, and we'll see what they can do. It'll be Everett Cabrera to start it all. As far as the San Diego offense is concerned, they are a very young club. In fact, with a bunch under 25, makes him the 6th youngest in the major leagues. And the first pitch to Cabrera is a strike. For the young Padres, they walk a lot, second highest rate of walks. And when they get aboard, they will run. This is a running Padre team. They have quite a bunch of stolen bases, 120 to be exact. It's a beautiful late afternoon, early evening, you want to call it. 84 degrees with a light breeze blowing out to right field. Back comes the next pitch, and Cabrera hits it in the air down the left field line. Victorino makes the catch as he crosses the line, and we have one away here in the first inning. The Padres have won 18 games in the month of August, and they've really kind of turned things around. Up until the middle of June, the Padres had 20 wins, 41 losses, and the Dodgers piled up some of those losses against them. Remember, they opened up the season with a 4-game series against San Diego. Here's Will Venable, left-hand hitting outfielder, and takes a strike, 0-1. So for the Padres, until June the 12th, their record 20 wins, 41 losses. Since then, 42 wins, 32 losses. So it's a much better ball club than the club we saw earlier this year. Venable, a line drive, single to center. So the Padres now with a runner at first and one out. And Chase Headley coming up. Chase Headley had 6 runs batted in yesterday. In fact, you have the 2 RBI men in the league since the All-Star break. Chase Headley has driven in 47 runs with 6 yesterday to give him 89. And over at first base, Adrian Gonzalez has 49 RBIs since the All-Star break. So Venable over at first, and remember they run. Venable has stolen 19 out of 25. So 120 stolen bases. They are second in the league. The Florida, or now Miami Marlins, they've stolen 128. So we're just starting. Giants pulled out another miracle as Headley swings, fouls it away. 0-1 the count. Giants again got out in front 4-0. Next thing you know, Arizona scrambled back to lead 7-4. Then it got to be 8-5. Then the Giants tied it, forced it into extra innings, tied it against J.J. Putz, who lost here yesterday, and then they beat Brian Shaw in the 10th inning. Strike one pitch on the way from Joe Blanton. He has to worry about Venable, and he is worrying, and he's just holding on to the ball. For the Giants to win, they're now 38-28, 10 games above 500. The Dodgers are only 6. No balls and 1 strike to Chase Headley. Here comes Blanton over the top, and it is swung on, fouled at the plate, or maybe just dropped. And the way Ellis scrambled after it, it probably just got away. Another thing about San Diego, if you can steal as many bases as they have, 120, well, then naturally you assume that they can run well, and they do. They've had 147 infield hits. 0-2 the count. Headley with Alonso on deck. And there goes Venable. The pitch is low. The throw on a bounce into center field. However, holding at second with a stolen base is Venable. So Venable single, Steele second on a curveball bounced in the dirt. Tough play for Ellis to handle, and A.J. bounced it right on by Hanley Ramirez. So Venable has now stolen 20 out of 26. Who does the running on this club? Well, Cameron Maben has stolen 25. Everett Cabrera has stolen 25, and they've gotten Cabrera on a fly ball. So 1-2 the count to Chase Headley. Blanton delivers, and it's fouled back. So it's still 1-2 the count. Headley in and out of the box, now waiting at the plate. Chase pumping that wood back and forth. You have a couple of switch hitters and two left-handers up at the top of the lineup. The pitch to Headley is swung on. Drive to right field. Ethier turns, watches this one go into the bleachers. So Chase Headley, with 6 RBIs yesterday, hits a line drive home run into the right field stand. And just like that, the Padres are out in front. For Headley, he has 24 home runs and now 91 runs batted in. For Joe Blanton, the home run has been a headache for him. He's allowed 5 as a Dodger, and he's a total of 27 home runs allowed so far this year. So the Padres on the board, and the next hitter following Headley is Yonder Alonso. So Chase Headley coming off that big game and comes right off with a big at bat. The next pitch is hit in the air to right field. Andre Ethier looking up into that bright sky and makes the catch for the second out. So Venable single, stole second. Headley hits a home run, and the Dodgers are in trouble immediately, 2-0. For Headley, just checking, that is the 16th home run that he has hit on the road. I think it was no secret the Dodgers would have loved to have gotten Headley earlier in the year, but couldn't do it. Chris DeNorfia will be the hitter, playing left field for the injured Carlos Quentin. 2-0 in favor of San Diego. The Dodgers have won 8 of 12, winning 4 of 6 down south, 4 of 6 up here. And the first pitch swung on and missed. 0-1 the count to Chris DeNorfia. On deck, Cameron Maben. DeNorfia was 2 for 7 in Colorado. It's a ground ball to Cruz, the throw to first in time, but the damage was done. Venable singles, Headley hits a home run, and at the end of half an inning, Padres 2, Dodgers coming up. The lineup from Don Mattingly, and it reads this way: Mark Ellis at second, Shane Victorino in left, Adrian Gonzalez at first. Matt Kemp in cleanup in center, Hanley Ramirez at short, Andre Ethier in right, Luis Cruz at third base, A.J. Ellis the catcher, Joe Blanton on the mound. On the mound for San Diego, Andrew Werner. He's from Washington, Illinois. He went to the college at Indianapolis, and actually came out of Independent. He was with Evansville of the Independent League. Then he was traded to the Frontier League, and he was signed out of the Frontier League as a non-drafted player by the Padres 2 years ago. Basically fastball and changeup, and he's been pretty impressive. First of all, he is 1-1, and the numbers are almost exactly the same. In each game, 6 innings. In each game, 2 runs allowed, and in each game, 1 home run. So we'll see now. Left-hander Andrew Werner, 25 years old, in his 3rd major league start, flips the first one in for a strike, and they count 0-1. Mark Ellis hitting .262 with 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Back comes the pitch, pulled foul. I tell you what has to be a little difficult down at home plate. Most of the infield's in shade, but there is a pathway of light directly in front of the mound. So the hitter and the pitcher are in shadow, and that ball comes and it lights up for just that fraction of a second, and there is strike 3 called to Mark Ellis. So that is to be a problem. You can see the ball. It almost lights up like a light bulb, maybe not from this level, but from up here looking down. So 1 away, and Shane Victorino coming up. So maybe we're making it tougher than it really is, but up here it looks like it would present a problem. The Padres lead on a 1st inning home run, and they are very happy to be on the road as far as hitting the home run. Victorino, hitting right-handed, takes a strike. The Padres have a total of 96 home runs, 65 on the road, 31 at home, and as we told you, Headley has 16 of his home runs on the road. 0-2 the count to Shane Victorino. Another note about the left-hander Andrew Werner. That is, he is a ground ball pitcher if you look at his numbers in the first 2 starts that he made. Strike 2 pitch and low, ball 1. He averaged in those 2 games against Pittsburgh and Atlanta a little more than 3 ground balls for every fly ball. That would make him the #1 ground ball pitcher in the National League. He'd have passed even Trevor Cahill, who's #1. The 1-2 pitch on the way, lunged at and missed. Down goes Victorino. So maybe not too much to say about that path of sunlight, but you're right. If you came right back and said, well, what about Venable and Headley? No explanation. So now Adrian Gonzalez, who had that clutch no-ball 2-strike double yesterday to give the Dodgers a walk-off victory. Adrian with 49 RBIs since the All-Star break. Played 5 years with San Diego. Struggling with the Dodgers, hitting .211, but he was hitting very close to .300 when he left Boston. He looks at a big curveball, flinches, and takes a strike. 0-1. Left-hand batters, by the way, are hitting .143 against Andrew Werner. The left-hander back, and he works it low and away. Right-handers aren't doing that much better. They're hitting .214 against him. And the way he has pitched, if he gets through the first 25 pitches, he just gets tougher. Breaking ball that stayed up and in on the hands. 2-1 the count. Andrew is 6'2", about 215, 25 years old. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's low, ball 3, 3-1. Dodgers will see left-handers throughout the series. They see Werner tonight, Matt Kemp waiting on deck, and he's had a big year against left-handers. Eric Stoltz, the former Dodger left-hander, will be pitching tomorrow night. Clayton Richards, the final game, and a breaking ball off the plate, and Gonzalez walks. So if he pitched carefully around Gonzalez, now he's facing somebody who has really had a good time against left-handers especially, and that would be Matt Kemp. So Matt coming up, Padres lead 2-0 in the first inning. Matt Kemp is hitting .422 against left-handers. Hit a home run to right field yesterday. He's hit safely in his last 14 games against San Diego, going back to August of last year. And in the 9 games this year, he has just worn out the Padres. Werner's first pitch, fastball, hit foul off to the right and out of play. Cracked bat, so that'll give us a chance to tell you a little bit more about Matt Kemp. Not only has he hit safely in the last 14 against San Diego, this year he's hitting .528 with 6 home runs and 15 runs batted in 9 against the Padres. Remember, the Dodgers have played 12. So he jumped on the Padres early in that 4-game series in April, and then a brief 2-game series in May. After that, it's when the Padres improved. Strike one pitch on the way, and Kemp takes low, 1 ball and 1 strike. If you joined us a wee bit late, with 1 out, Will Venables singled, promptly stole second, the 121st stolen base, and then Chase Headley hit a home run, and it's 2-0 Padres. Kemp not quite ready. Matt backs out for the moment. Since coming off the DL the middle of July, Matt's hitting .315, half a dozen home runs, 27 runs batted in. That's over 45 games. He swings, doesn't get it, and the count 1-2. Waiting on deck, Hanley Ramirez. Looking at Werner and thinking about the San Diego pitching staff, among other things, the bullpen doesn't blow games. They do not allow home runs to left-hand hitters. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Matt, and that drives him off the plate inside 2-2. If you try to run against the left-handers, you pay a pretty good price. Second highest number of caught stealing in the league, and they also pick off runners. They've picked off 13, and they've caught stealing 8 more. 2-2 pitch to Matt Kemp. Swung on, a drive to center. Maben, however, is at the other end of it, and that's that. So no runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. And at the end of an inning, 2-0 San Diego. In the first inning, the Padres lead the Dodgers. Now it will be Cameron Maben, followed by Alexei Amarista, and then John Baker. For Joe Blanton, a bad note on which to start. In the 10 starts where he has not allowed a home run, he's 5-4, as Maben swings and misses. In the 15 starts in which he has allowed a home run, he is 4-7 and an earned run average of 6. and he has surrendered the home run to Chase Headley. Strike one pitch on the way. Maben takes a strike. Maben gives you a great glove, wonderful speed. If Maben gets aboard, he's stolen 25 out of 31. Right-hand batter takes inside on the corner, and strike three called. So Maben strikes out. He becomes Blanton's first strikeout. Alexei Amarista coming up, and he is fresh off a 5-hit game in Colorado. But can you imagine the frustration of getting 20 hits and losing 11-10? Amarista takes a look at the first pitch, and that'll cost him a strike, and the count 0-1. Smallish, lean, left-hand hitter, second baseman. Back comes Blanton. Fastball is fouled away. Ellis took that in the mask. 0-2 the count to Alexei Amarista. He has done very, very well, especially because he's not a power hitter. He's done very well at Petco Park. He takes high. Amarista hitting .289 in the last 28 home games. Earlier this year had a 9-game hitting streak. The 1-2 pitch sprayed foul off to the left upstairs. That was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. So Amarista trying to get something started here. One away, second inning. Padres leading 2-0. Now the next pitch, Amarista very aggressive, hits a fly ball to left center. Matt Kemp comes over, makes the catch, and we have 2 down here in the second inning.
Catcher number 21, John Baker.
So John Baker, the left-hand hitting catcher, will check in. The path that had been in front of the mound and between the mound and home plate, that has moved now. A slice of sunlight up towards first base. Right side of the infield and outfield still in brilliant sunlight. Rest of the field in shade, and the pitch low, ball one. Yesterday was as tough a day, I think, as I've ever seen for veteran major league outfielders and infielders trying to find the ball. Next pitch is swung on and missed. 1-1. Andre Ethier struggled. In fact, everybody did. Maybe the number one sight yesterday, and it fooled everybody. Well, me. There's a high fly ball that goes right on through. The play yesterday, that was amazing. The ball was hit in the air, and we were watching Cruz, and he went back down the line looking up into the sky as if he was going to make the catch. It wound up in straightaway left field to Shane Victorino, who had a big laugh at the expense of Cruz. Meanwhile, John Baker with a single, and that'll bring up Andrew Werner, the pitcher. Andrew, left-hand batter, and he takes low, ball one. Werner has had 4 at-bats in the big leagues. 0 for 4, struck out once. Back comes Blanton, and the fastball in for a strike to make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One and one the count. Blanton ready, comes back. His opposite number takes a pitch for a strike, and the count 1-2. With 2 out, Baker, the catcher, singles to center. Blanton ready, comes back to the pitcher, poked on the ground to Ramirez, quick flip to Mark Ellis, and they get the 4th play. So no runs, a hit, a man left. And at the end of an inning and a half, it's the Padres 2 on Headley's home run and the Dodgers nothing. Padres leading the Dodgers 2-0. It'll be Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier, and then Luis Cruz. A little while ago, we were talking about what the Padre pitching staff does well. We also can talk about the problems that they have when they don't pitch well. After all, the Padres have won 62 games and lost 73. So we'll give you a couple of notes overall. They have the problem of walking a lot of hitters at home. Maybe they feel it's such a big ballpark they can get away with it. Their starters are not winning. It's the 12th lowest in the league. And they don't make very many quality starts. Of course, you could also point out the fact that they get the 14th lowest rate of run support in the league, averaging 3.9. Eric Stultz, Clayton Richards, they'll be pitching here tonight and tomorrow. The Padre pitchers walk hitters, and they don't get double plays. So here's Hanley Ramirez. Werner delivers, fastball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Hanley hitting .257, 23 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Right-hand batter waiting. Werner, the left-hander, delivers another pitch at the knees for a strike, and the count 0-2. That's the word on Werner. He throws strikes. And remember, after his 25 pitch, he seems to get better. The next one to Ramirez in the dirt. Right now, he's made 20 pitches. So we'll see how much of that holds up. Andrew Werner, 25 years old. Hanley back up there, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We were talking about Werner and the fact he had mirror numbers in his first 2 starts. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, fouled away. In his 2 starts, Andrew Werner allowed 2 runs, allowed in 6 innings, allowed 2 home runs. One was hit by Dan Ugla, the other Gabby Sanchez. Well, almost the exact same. And one game he won, one game he lost. And Hanley Ramirez swings and misses. Down he goes. That's the 3rd strikeout as Ramirez walks away after looking back. Slider down in the dirt. So 1 out, and here's Andre Ethier. Here's another note about Andrew Werner. In his last start, the left-hand hitters were 0 for 10. He has not allowed a home run to a left-hand hitter this season, including the minor leagues. So rather remarkable. Last home run he gave up to a left-hander was July of last year. So here's Ethier, and he has a look at a strike in the count 0-1. Dodgers trying to shake themselves and think about last year. Remember, last year the Dodgers really came alive and won 17 and lost 9 in the month of September. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-2. Dodgers so far down 2-0. Giants 1, in case you missed it. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Check swing on a breaking ball down. 1-2 the count to Andre Ethier. 2-0 Padres. Bottom of the 2nd inning. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. So Ethier strikes out. And for Werner, he's just dominating the left-hand batters. He has 4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3. I mean, here's the kid in his 3rd major league game, and he looks like the veteran professional. So the batter, Luis Cruz, the 3rd baseman. Luis hitting .294. He has 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Werner into the windup, delivers. Cruz has a look, pays a price, a strike, and the count 0-1. And the strike 1 pitch, foul back into the screen, 0-2. Werner facing Luis Cruz. 2-0 Padres. Second inning. Pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Baker. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Padres came in here with a 2-game losing streak. Not long ago, they had an 8-game winning streak. 1-2 pitch on the way as a ground ball to the left of short, through right on by Cabrera for a base hit. So a 2-out single by Luis Cruz, who continues to hang right around 300, somewhere between 295 and 300, and the batter will be A.J. Ellis. Hit number 1 for the Dodgers against Werner. A.J. Ellis hitting .281, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs, getting close to 100 hits. He's also getting close to 60 walks. So A.J. with Cruz at first. Werner looks over, left-handed to the plate, and gets it in there. Boy, his first pitch strike count has been great. One reason why he struck out 4 in 2 innings. 0-1 the count. Ellis with Blanton on deck. Werner again back to the plate, down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Two out. Cruz at first. Werner out of a stretch, and here he comes. It's on the corner for a strike, and the count 1-2. Jeff Kellogg is the plate umpire, and even though this is a brand new series, the other 3 umpires are held over. They did such a great job. Tim Timmons, Vic Carapazzo, and Eric Cooper. Well, not really, but the league decided this would be a tough day to start flying umpires around. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way, and it's taken. Strike 3 call. So all Andrew Werner does is strike out the side. It gives him 5 strikeouts in 2 innings, and the Padres lead 2-0.
Look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
We're going to the 3rd inning in a game that's been dominated, number 1, the swings and misses of the Dodgers, and the swing and hit by Chase Headley, and the remarkable performance by young Andrew Werner. You know, we were talking about him getting that first pitch for a strike. He's been 0-1 to all 8 batters. 0-2 to 5 of the 8, and he has struck out 5 of the 8. So a remarkable 2 innings for the young left-hander. Now it'll be Cabrera, Venable, and Headley again. Third inning, 2-0 San Diego. Cabrera drops a bunt. It's a good bunt, and the throw to first is not nearly in time. Everett Cabrera comes up with his 6th bunt singles this year.
25, Will Venable.
He just dropped a dandy. A.J. Ellis tried to get it, but with the speed of Cabrera, especially hitting left-handed, he didn't stand much of a chance. So a bunt single for Everett Cabrera. And the batter will be Will Venable. We told you about this club, these Padres, a very fast-running ball club. Venable, single, promptly stole second, came home on Headley's home run. Blanton ready, deals. Venable shows bunt, takes ball 1. 1-0 to count. Will, since the middle of the month, hitting .442, and up top of the lineup, has scored 13 runs in 13 games. Blanton out of his stretch. He had best worry about Cabrera because he has plenty of speed. Cabrera has stolen, how about this, 25 out of 26. So Everett off the bag, and he has a good lead. The bunt is pushed foul. Venable trying to make sure Cruz handled it, but he pushed it away. So 1-1 the count. So we've seen the Padres already, what they can do. Venable single and then stole second. Then we saw Cabrera come up with his 6th bunt single. And then we saw the red-hot Chase Headley hit a home run. So it's a capsule look at this new ball club since the 12th of June. 1-1. There goes Cabrera. The pitch is high. The throw is on a bounce and late. So Cabrera now has stolen 26 out of 27. And I'm sure this could very well be a nightmare series for whoever is pitching and catching for the Dodgers. I mean, they run at will. And let's face it, when you are 14.5 back in September, you can run at will. So Cabrera now has stolen 26 out of 27. Bud Black just turning the kids loose. And here's Venable trying to at least get his man over to third. The pitch by Blanton, check swing, and it's a bad swing, and down he goes. Bum check. So Venable strikes out. Let's take a look at Chase Headley. Came up in the first inning, fresh from a 6 RBI game in Colorado. Got one down and hit a line drive into the right field seats. So Headley makes it 2-0, and now trying to pick up another run. If he knocks in a run to give him 3, that'll be almost ho-hum for him as he takes a strike. He's had at least 3 RBIs in a game 12 times, the most such games for a Padre since guess who? Adrian Gonzalez. He did it 13 times back in 2007. Strike 1 pitch to Headley. He holds up his high, 1-1. This year, the only 2 players who have more 3 RBI games than Headley, Josh Hamilton and Adrian Gonzalez, both with 13. Remember, Adrian Gonzalez picked up 3 ribbies in his first at-bat for the Dodgers with a 3-run home run. 1-1 pitch on the way. Headley swings, doesn't get it, and the count 1-2. Padres lead 2-0 in the early going. Headley has 21 go-ahead RBIs this year to get San Diego off on the right foot. 21 times. 1-2 pitch is swung on and hit to center. Matt Kemp, sunlight and shadow, makes the catch for the out. Holding at second base is Cabrera. And the batter will be Yonder Alonso. We haven't seen San Diego in a while, and you might not remember, if indeed you had tuned in at the time, about that first name, Yonder. Then you might say, wow, that's kind of a different first name. It's not only different, it's an original. For Alonso, his parents made up the name. So we have 2 out, a runner at second base. Alonso flied to right in the first inning, and the left-hand hitter takes ball 1. Chris DeNorfia playing for Carlos Quinton on deck. Quinton in the lineup was taken out, sore right knee. The 1-0 pitch on the way, big swing and a miss, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. To Yonder Alonso, wearing number 23. So Adrian Gonzalez passed it on to him. Both first basemen wearing that number. The 1-1 pitch coming up. Alonso swings, hits a ground ball to the right side. Mark Ellis is on it plenty of time, and that's that. The leadoff bunt single by Cabrera, but they leave him at second. And at the end of 2.5 innings, 2-0 San Diego. The bottom of the third inning, the Padres leading the Dodgers 2-0. Joe Blanton followed by Mark Ellis, Shane Victorino. Andrew Werner has struck out 2 in the first inning, struck out the side in the second. So with 5 strikeouts, he prepares to go to work here in the third inning, leading 2-0. Joe Blanton at the plate, right-hand batter, has a look at a strike. 0-1 to Joe. Blanton with the Dodgers 47 at bats, and he has 4 singles. Hits one down the right field line, and a backhanded effort by Venable, and he caught the ball, so they call him an out. We had to wait for Tim Timmons, the first base umpire, to run all the way down the right field line, because Venable went right over the railing when he caught it. But he did hold on to it.
Mark Ellis.
It's a fine play, especially for a visiting player. You know, you figure if you're Andre Ethier, you're out there every day and you really know the territory. So a fine play by Venable as Blanton fouls out, and the batter now is Mark Ellis. Ellis struck out in the first inning. Mark has a look at a breaking ball strike, so there you have it. He keeps getting that first pitch over for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Andrew back with a fastball lined into right field, base hit. Venable picks it up on a hop. Ellis holds, and Victorino will be coming up. Say, don't forget tomorrow at 7:10, fans with the first 30,000 tickets will receive an adult Matt Kemp replica jersey, compliments of State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Ellis at first, Victorino struck out his first at bat. That was a remarkable picture in this morning's paper of Venable Victorino sliding across home plate. Mark Ellis looking down at him, and Victorino with a big grin on his face as he came in safe. And the lighting on the photograph was truly remarkable. So Ellis at first right now. Yesterday Ellis was at third, and Victorino came all the way on Adrian Gonzalez double. 0-1 the count. The left-hander looks over at Ellis, now to the plate, and it is swung on and missed. 0-2. Five strikeouts and one walk so far, and one hit allowed by Andrew Werner. Strike two pitch on the way. He has a look over. Ellis pretty good lead, and the pitch high, ball one. 1-2. If the Dodgers try to return the favor and steal a base, Mark Ellis is 5 for 5 in stolen bases. John Baker checking with Bud Black about a possible pitch out. 1-2 the count. Left-hander Werner stares, decides to go over to first, and Ellis back on the bag. A lot of things you have to do in the big leagues as a pitcher. You have to throw strikes, you have to get hitters out, you have to field your position, and you have to control the running game. Otherwise, you don't have much to do at all. The 1-2 pitch is slapped into right field. Out to get it easily is Amarista. So just a little blooper. 2 down. And Adrian Gonzalez coming up.
Adrian Gonzalez.
Gonzalez walked in the first inning. Adrian got a no-ball, 2-strike pitch up out over the plate yesterday from J.J. Putz to come up with that dramatic game-winning hit. Adrian with 6 career walk-offs. That was his first as a Dodger. Werner ready, delivers, and works it on the outside corner for a strike. And the count 0-1. So Werner, who has been so tough on left-hand batters, but Gonzalez hitting .298 against left-handers. Strike one pitch on the way, and Adrian swings right through it. 0-2 the count. So it's almost a recording. The first pitch is always a strike, and a lot of times it's no balls, 2 strikes. Werner is a ground ball pitcher, but he hasn't given up a ground ball yet. A throw to first, a lob throw over there. Either strikeouts, 2 fly balls to the outfield, pop fly. No balls and 2 strikes to Adrian Gonzalez. There goes Ellis. The breaking ball is hit into center field, caught easily by Cameron Maybin, and that'll be that. So no runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 3, it remains Padres 2, Dodgers nothing. Padres leading the Dodgers 2-0. It'll be Denorfia, Mabin, and Amarista. Chris Denorfia, over the last 10 games, has hit well when playing and takes a strike. In other words, usually they defer either to Venable or to Quinton, but when he is in there, he's hitting .435. Hits a ground ball to the left of Ramirez, through into center field for a base hit. So the leadoff man Cabrera bunted for a base hit in the third. Now Denorfia leads off with a single to center here in the fourth, and Cameron Mabin coming up. Padres lead 2-0 in the fourth inning. Mabin is slowly developing. I remember they were talking about him early in May, saying it seems like he's getting better every game. It's not really reflected in his overall batting average, not yet. But he's got all the ability in the world. So Blanton has to be careful. He has Denorfia at first, although Denorfia doesn't do a lot of running. He has stolen 9 out of 12. Blanton almost got him that time. Mabin, Amarista, and Baker coming up, trying to get Denorfia home. Padres had a very good month of August. They were 18-10. One ball and no strikes. Well, the infield, the outfield in shade, except for a pie wedge in right field. Andre Ethier has to squint in to keep his eye on the ball. One ball and no strikes. Ground ball into left field for a base hit. So back-to-back singles by Denorfia and Mabin. 2 on, nobody out. And Alexi Amarista coming up.
Second baseman, number 5, Alexi Amarista.
So Amarista, who came up earlier and flied to center, 0 for 1, had that 5-hit game yesterday. He's from Barcelona, but not where you think. It's not Barcelona, Spain. It's Barcelona, Venezuela. Growing up, it was the old story. Yeah, he can run and he can throw and everything else, but he's too small. He's 5'6", but he can play. Fouls it back. 5'6" and maybe 150 pounds. He started to play amateur softball because he was turned down so many times at home. But eventually, when he was 17 years old, the Angels signed him, and he promptly won the Midwest League batting title. 0-1. 1-1. The Padres made quite a deal. They sent a marvelous reliever to the Angels, Ernesto Frieri, to get Amarista, and a right-hand pitcher named Don Roach. 2 on, nobody out. Fourth inning, 2-0, San Diego. Amarista idolized Omar Vizquel growing up. Two runs, 6 hits for the Padres against Joe Blanton. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Joe out of Nashville, Tennessee, and Brownsville, Kentucky. Fouled away. Blanton went to the University of Kentucky. In his career, well, he gave up a stolen base tonight. The success percentage in stolen bases against Joe, about 77%, give or take. In his career, he has usually pitched far better in the second half of a season. 1-2. Big swing and a foul off to the left down the line, back into the crowd. 1-2 the count to Amarista. Like Cabrera, he's also handy with the bunt, although he has 2 strikes, so you're not looking for it now. The field now completely into the hands of the lights. All of the sunlight is gone. And ground ball to first. Gonzalez to the bag, and that moves the runners up. So Amarista, a good at bat to advance both runners to second and third. And the batter will be the catcher, left-hand hitter John Baker. John Baker singled to center in the second inning. They will take the bat out of his hands and walk him intentionally. And they'll try and get out of it against Andrew Werner. So in a moment, Blanton will have the bases loaded. John Baker came to San Diego in the deal that sent left-hander Wade LeBlanc to the Marlins. So Bake will get the intentional walk, and in a moment, Werner. For Blanton, this will be the first walk that he's allowed. So 2 runs, 6 hits.
Pitcher, number 41, Andrew Werner.
And here comes Andrew Werner with Everett Cabrera on deck. I don't think the league knows very much about Werner. They do know that DeNorfia runs reasonably well at third, and Glenn Hoffman over to speak to him. So you start to wonder, would they try to squeeze? Blanton set, delivers, and the first one is low, ball 1. Cruz stays right even with DeNorfia. So they almost come down the line together on that first pitch. Full swing foul, 1-1. Werner's only had 5 at-bats. He has struck out only once, and there's no other look at his numbers, just zeros, whether he can bunt or not. Bases loaded, DeNorfia, Maben, and Baker. Full swing and a miss, 1-2. Everett Cabrera on deck. Cabrera had a bunt single in the third inning and promptly stole second base, but they left him. 2-0 Padres, trying to get some more. Foul back. So in the inning, DeNorfia grounded a single up the middle. Maben grounded a single to left. And after Amarista grounded out to move them up, they walked Baker intentionally. So Blanton trying to work his way out of a jam, and a 1-2 pitch taken for ball 2. One thing about Blanton, he usually throws strikes. In fact, for the year, he had 28 walks and 138 strikeouts while he was with Philadelphia. Foul back. As a Dodger pitcher with a record of 1-3 in his 5 starts, walked 10, struck out 23. Two balls and 2 strikes they count, and now A.J. Ellis going out to talk to him. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 4th, they'll have Matt Kemp, Hanley Ramirez, and then Andre Ethier. Werner making Blanton work. Not bad. He's already had 6 pitches in this at-bat, waiting for number 7. Blanton trying to put him away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 1 out, 4th inning, 2-0 San Diego. 2-run home run by Chase Headley in the 1st inning. And fastball got him. All right, Warner strikes out, but the inning is still alive. 3 strikeouts for Blanton. And now Cabrera. Cabrera with his 6th bunt single in the 3rd inning. But he has not done well in this kind of a situation. Hitting .234, Everett with 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Ground foul. Cabrera is from Nicaragua. He was originally signed by the Rockies. He's a little bit bigger than Amarista. Amarista is 5'6", Everett is 5'8", about 160. 1 ball and 1 strike. When he was a little boy, he had so much talent. He was little enough to be 6 years old, and he was playing Little League ball with all the older kids in the neighborhood. And he grew up, his idol, Rafael Furcal, whom you may or may not know, had to go on the DL with a sore elbow. Cardinals, by the way, will be here starting on the 13th of September. So the crowd now trying to help out Blanton. 1 and 2 to Cabrera. Bases loaded, 2 out, 2-0 San Diego. Blanton ready. Got him. So Joe hangs tough, strikes out 2, leaves 3, and at the end of 3.5 innings, 2-0 San Diego.
I got you.
Dodger Baseball is brought to you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T UVerse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. By the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer. And by Time Warner Cable. Bottom of the 4th inning on a beautiful Monday evening, Labor Day. If you're watching and then planning to go somewhere else, please be careful. Andrew Werner has certainly been careful. He has struck out 5. He's allowed 2 hits. Dodgers have not had a man to second base. Now he'll face Matt Kemp, Hanley Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. Kemp flied to center in the 1st inning. He has at least 1 hit, in 14 straight games against San Diego. Matt batting .330. There you go again. Strike one. Boy, it's remarkable. Modified shift with Kemp, and a rather interesting one. The shortstop and the third baseman are swung over. The second baseman is not behind second, but almost. But look at how the outfield is. Maben is in right center. Huge gap in left center field. Well, you don't have to have much of a defensive setup if the hitter strikes out. Meanwhile, a half a dozen strikeouts for Andrew Werner. And look where Baker is, setting way off the plate. So one out in the fourth. Hanley Ramirez struck out. It's only the fourth inning, and we're already looking who are the Dodgers who have not struck out. There would be Blanton, Cruz, Gonzalez. That's it. 0-1. The first pitch strike, which is truly the #1 commandment. Get the first pitch over. His first pitch strike, 14 for 14. That's remarkable for anyone who ever played the game. And another strike. Wow. Just look at what he did in his first two games. He had 4 walks and 9 strikeouts in 12 innings. No balls, 2 strikes. 1-2. Tomorrow night, a former Dodger left-hander, Eric Stokes, and he'll go up against Clayton Kershaw. The concluding game, Clayton Richard and Aaron Harang, a former Padre. 2-2 the count to Hanley, batting .257. 23 home runs, 83 runs batted in. And got him, and Hanley knew it. 7 strikeouts. I mean, it's not as if he's rearing back and throwing 95. Nothing like that at all. His control is absolutely perfect. They used to talk about, well, he can thread a needle. Well, right now, Andrew Werner can thread a needle. And here's Ethier, who struck out in the second inning. Remember, a left-hand batter does not have a base hit against Werner. Big breaking ball, ball 1. I mean, that breaking ball was only 73. Way out in front of a rainbow. 1-1. 25 years old and was playing in the Frontier League. Fastball in there at 90. So he gives you 2 slow breaking balls, one slower than the next, and then come right back with a fastball. That's great pitching. Ground ball, and Headley, playing so far from the bag, makes the play. So the Dodgers roll over in the fourth. At the end of 4 with 7 strikeouts under his belt, Werner walks off leading 2-0.
W, October 23rd, 1981.
The boys in blue returned to Dodger Stadium trailing 2-0 in the 1981 World Series, but they bounced back, however, with a 5-4 win over the Yankees, thanks to Fernando Valenzuela's 146 pitches and some timely hitting from Steve Garvey and Pedro Guerrero. Guerrero and Garvey would eventually share series MVP honors with a third teammate, Ron Cey. We go to the fifth inning, but looking back at 1981, did you hear that one line about Fernando pitching in that World Series game? He made 146 pitches. Here we are today. Fella gets up around 100, and we figure he's an Iron Man. But for Fernando, he was remarkable. Breaking ball strike to Will Venable, who a single, stolen a base, and struck out. Also made a fine catch on a foul ball hit by Joe Blanton. 1-1 to Will. His dad played for a lot of years in the big leagues, Max Venable. Two and one to count. For the last 12 games, Venable hitting .429, and he's really been valuable with runners in scoring position. Venable is hitting .373 with runners in scoring position. Three and one. And look out, ball four. So another rabbit is loose. Venable stole second base in the first inning, so he has stolen 20 of 26 on a ball club that lives by the stolen base. They have 121 of them. And now Chase Headley, 2-run home run fly to center. 24 home runs, 91 runs batted in. Headley, a switch hitter. 16 of his 24 home runs hit left-handed. And a strike. 0-1. Headley really sought by so many teams, but the Padres wisely held on to him. He's only 28. He's from Fountain, Colorado. Lives in Tennessee. Went to the University of Tennessee. 1 ball and 1 strike. Headley never really liked to hit at Petco Park. This year he was hitting around .260, which was a pretty good improvement at home over his career numbers. Venable having to dive back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Venable held on by Gonzalez. 1-1 to Headley. That's a strike. When Headley was going to the University of Tennessee, he originally majored in sports medicine, then finally changed to sports management, and then changed to play baseball. Last year with the Padres, he had only 4 home runs. 2-2. 4 home runs in 113 games. In 135 games this year, 24 home runs, 91 runs batted in. One thing he did do last year, he hit for an average. He hit about .290. 2-2. There goes Venable, and it's fouled away. Another trademark for Headley, and it's certainly holding up here. he takes and gets involved in a lot of pitches. Usually his at bat more than 4 pitches. Well, this will be at least his 5th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Venable not going. Ground ball, one-handed by Ellis, back to short for 1, on to first, and it gets away from Gonzalez. It's amazing how big league infielders can turn and throw and find the target. I mean, they don't stand there and aim. Somehow they can get it down there. Venable moving Ramirez off the bag, and then the throw gets away from Gonzalez. Nice play by Mark Ellis. 1 out. Hanley Ramirez tried to get out of the way of the sliding Venable, did the best he could. Now the batter is Yonder Alonso, who flied to right and grounded out. Headley does a lot of things for the Padres, and among other things, he has 14 stolen bases. So that will certainly keep Gonzalez on the bag and the left-hand hitter at the plate. 1 out, 2-0 Padres, top of the 5th. Joe Blanton, 9-12, and as a Dodger, 1-3. 2-2 lifetime against San Diego. Check swing and a comebacker. They're going to get 1. They will get 2. 1-6-3 on the check swing. No runs, no hits, nobody left. At the end of 4 1/2, 2-0 San Diego. Werner. Joe Blanton gave up that first inning home run to Chase Headley. Otherwise, he's pitching well. So neither pitcher giving up very much, although Blanton had to fight his way out of a tough 4th inning with the bases loaded. So now let's see what Werner does with the first pitch. He was 14 for 14 with a first pitch strike. Well, starts off 0-1. Cruz single to left field in the 2nd inning. And a fastball is hit to center. It's going to fall for the base hit. So Luis Cruz is 2 for 2. That's going to get him awfully close to 300. That's kind of like his ceiling. He gets to 300 and then he slips back down by a couple of points. But he is now 2 for 2. And the batter will be A.J. Ellis. Dodger catcher struck out in the second inning. Luis Cruz hitting .302 as he stands at first base. Fastball hit in the air to right field. Venable moving over, makes the play. So Ellis, fly ball to right. That'll bring up Joe Blanton. One out.
Pitcher number 56, Joe Blanton.
Bud Black signaling to his young pitcher. He now has Headley coming in. Padres certainly looking bunt. Alonso ready to push it off the bag at first. The bunt is down. It will have to go to first base. So on the sacrifice, Cruz advances to second. Doesn't sound like much that the Dodgers have a runner at second, but it's the first man to get that far. And we're in the fifth inning. So Cruz at second and Mark Ellis now trying to pick him up. Mark struck out and single to right, hitting .263. So Blanton does his job, moves his man up a notch. Nothing San Diego. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. They play Maiden in right center, and the slow curveball. Boy, this is really remarkable. Andrew Werner seems like 0-1 on every hitter. There are the numbers, 18 out of 19. That's that old gag. We'll sign the guy who didn't get the first pitch for a strike. Werner is 25 years old, out of Washington, Illinois. Fastball lined into left field, base hit. Charging Denorfia. Here's the throw. He is going to be safe, avoiding the tag. Down to second base goes Ellis. Tying run out there as Luis Cruz brings it in on a line drive single at the other end. Chris Denorfia. The throw was close, on the money, but just a little to the left of the plate, and the door was open for Cruz. So Mark Ellis, 2 for 3, run batted in. Takes second on the throw. So the tying run at second base. Denorfia made a good effort. Cruz runs very well. Victorino has struck out and popped up 0 for 2. 7 Dodgers have struck out in the first 4 innings. One ball, no strike. Off the plate. So the Dodgers finally break through. A single by Cruz. The bunt sacrificed by Blanton, and Mark Ellis picks him up. 2-0. And now ball 3. So young Andrew, after giving up the base hit and the run, suddenly looks like a regular guy, falling behind 3-0. And Bud Black, who was a fine left-hand pitcher in his day, watching him carefully. Strike, come back. Three and 1 to Shane Victorino. Adrian Gonzalez on deck. 2 out. popped in the air. Foul ground. Alonso is there, and that'll be that. Dodgers get one, leave one, and at the end at 5, 2-1 Padres. In 1975, Steve Garvey had missed 2 games prior because of the touch of the flu. However, on this day, he started against the Cincinnati Reds, and the next time he came out of a starting lineup was 1,207 games later. How it happened? He was playing for the San Diego Padres. He was in a collision at home plate with Atlanta pitcher and had a dislocated thumb, and finally the streak was over at 1,207. And with that, we'll go back to this one. Two to 1 in favor of the Padres. Chris Denorfia, who made that strong throw but just missed Cruz, and a strike. 0-1 to Chris. Denorfia from Bristol, Connecticut, went to Wheaton College. 0-2. Chris, pretty much a first ball hitter, hitting .292, 5 home runs. Not a power hitter. The most home runs he has hit in the big leagues, 9. 1-2 the count. Denorfia was off to a very slow start April and May, but he picked up in June. Line foul. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chris, among other things, went to high school at Choate Resmary Hall in Connecticut. Among the graduates, President John F. Kennedy. Chris Denorfia picked a good time to go to Wheaton. It had been an all-women's school, and it went co-ed. 3-2 the count. Denorfia, on the smart side, he graduated with 2 degrees. International Relations and Spanish. And he learns a big K. Down he goes. 1 away. Let's get you thinking for a moment. Not too tough, but Adrian Gonzalez, one of 4 players ever to hit 40 or more home runs in one season for the Padres. Who are the others? Well, we'll tell you in a while. Cameron Maben, the center fielder, struck out, single to left. Fastball strike. So Blanton fought his way off the hook in the 4th inning. Now it's 2-1 Padres, and we're in the 6th. That's lifted off first. Gonzalez reaches, can't make it. No balls and 1 strike to Cameron Maben. You wouldn't think looking at him, he's kind of long and rangy. You know he can run like the wind. He hit a home run in Arizona. They said the ball traveled 485 feet. Ball 1. And 485. And for Maben, 9 home runs last year for the Padres. Just 6 home runs this year. 1-2. Got him. So Maben is out for the 2nd time. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Right there. And the hitter will be Amarista. Joe Blandon now starting to pick up some strikeouts. He has struck out 6. Amarista fly to center, grounded out. Ball 1. Joe Blandon trailing just 2-1 now, top of the 6th inning. One and 0. Little foul off to the left, out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Last year, early in the year, on his very first major league swing, Alexei doubled and drove in 2 runs, and the Angels won the game. It was a nice way to break in. They asked him about what was your thought when you got that double, and he said, I was thinking about my dad. And then you found out, sad story, his father was shot to death in a home invasion robbery in Venezuela. 2-2 the count. Padres scored 2 in the 1st inning. Venable singled and Headley homered. Dodgers have scratched back with 1. We're in the 6th inning. Headley, the power plant, and then Mark Ellis with his single got the Dodger run home. And it was a tough run to get. Luis Cruz just did beat a strong throw from Chris D'Onofrio. Comebacker knocked down by Blanton. Nice inning. So Joe strikes out 2, gets him 1-2-3. Padres still lead 2-1. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Hyundai Summer Drive Sales Event, now through September 3rd. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. Bottom of the sixth inning, Padres 2, Dodgers 1. Former Padre Adrian Gonzalez will start it off, followed by Matt Kemp, and then Hanley Ramirez. So the numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters, collectively they are hitless, 0 for 5. Gonzalez did reach on a walk in the first inning. In for a strike. Boy. That's really been remarkable for this young left-handed. And another one. Showed he was human, I guess, when he walked Gonzalez in the first inning. 1-2. Andrew Werner. Little foul ball. Adrian hitting .205 with a home run, 8 runs batted in. Slow breaking ball at 75, fouled away. You know Indianapolis, Indiana. Did you know there was a University of Indianapolis? Well, Andrew went there, so he will certainly put it on the map. Line foul upstairs. That was a fastball. Fastball outside part of the plate. Adrian tried to go with it. Each of his 2 previous starts with Kemp on deck, Andrew Werner has gone 6 innings and allowed 2 runs in each game, allowing 1 home run in each game. Big curveball. Big out. 1 away. That'll bring up Matt Kemp, who has slid to center and struck out. He has at least 1 hit in 14 straight games against San Diego. And as we mentioned coming into the game, he was wearing out left-handers. 10 home runs and a .422 batting average. His average now has slipped under .330, so he's hitting .329 with 18 home runs. 0-1. Sounds like a recording. 20 out of 22 batters, he's had a no ball, 1 strike count. That is really remarkable. I don't know how many he has 0-2, but he has struck out 7. He has not had a strikeout since he got Ramirez back in the 4th. We have 1 out here in the 6th. Wow. Well, we better remember that name. Andrew Werner. 8 strikeouts for him. He has gotten Kemp twice. For a left-handed to wrap up Matt Kemp, that's quite a story. Hanley Ramirez, he struck out twice, so he can join Kemp in the puzzlement area. Hanley batting .256, 23 home runs, 83 runs batted in. And the ball is hit, and I mean hit to dead center and gone. So for Andrew Werner, his numbers are almost the same yet again. He's allowed 2 runs in each of his 3 starts. He's allowed 1 home run in each of his 3 starts. And this one ties the score as Hanley hits it out. Maben thought he might make the play. He looks disconsolate out there watching. He turned one way, just missed it, and then when he came down, he stayed in a down position, thinking about how he just missed making the catch. So it was that close. So Ramirez hits it out, a 2-2 tie here in the 6th. Ball 1 to Ethier. "24 home runs for Hanley, 10 and 36 RBIs as a Dodger." 2-0 they count to Andre Ethier. He struck out and grounded out. By the way, when the Padres come up in the 7th inning, they have Baker, then Werner, Spot, and Cabrera. Remember the count on Hanley Ramirez. Remember all of those first pitch strikes. And Hanley came up and hit the first pitch out. So no 0-1. 2-2 to Andre. It's an old story. You keep staying around the plate, sooner or later somebody's going to hit one out. 2-2 tie in the 6th. If you missed it, the Giants rallied, came from behind, and beat Arizona. Little fly ball, shallow left, troubled Denorfia. However, Hanley Ramirez hits the first pitch over the center field wall at the end of 6, a 2-2 tie. And Blanton. 8 strikeouts catches your eye, but Joe has suddenly snuck up. He has a half a dozen, and the most important area, they're even in runs, 2-2. So we go to the 7th. Hanley Ramirez hits one out to get the Dodgers even, and now Baker, Werner, and Cabrera coming up. John Baker singled and was walked intentionally. That's a strike. 0-1 to John. Baker hitting .241. 1 ball and 1 strike. John Baker, a catcher, nevertheless had Tommy John surgery 2 years ago. John's from Northern California, born in Alameda, and lives in Walnut Creek. Went to the University of California at Berkeley, and grew up with Will Clark as his man. Ground foul. Baker was called up to the big leagues in July of 2008. 2 days later, he got his first major league hit, and it was a home run. And lifted to deep left field. Victorino has to backtrack. One away. Andrew Werner will be coming up. You know, you can become a Dodger season ticket holder today and receive tickets to the final 10 home games and exclusive access to a postseason pre-on sale with a deposit for 2013, all starting at $11 a game. That's a foul ball out of play. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. Werner hit into a force play and struck out in the 4th inning. That's a strike. Blandon gave up a 2-run home run in the 1st inning. Had to get out of a 4th inning scrape with the bases loaded. But now appears to be in a groove. And he's even 2-2. When the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 7th, Cruz, A.J. Ellis, and Blanton. Cruz scoring a run with a base hit in the 5th. Meanwhile, that gets by the diving Ramirez. So Werner gets a 1-out single, his first major league hit, and I think they want the ball. Yep, they do. Blanton doesn't know about the request. Now they're telling him. They'll give it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez will hand it over, and it will wind up in Werner's locker. First career hit. Didn't take him long, really. 7 at-bats, 3rd game. Now Cabrera flied to left, bunted for a base hit, struck out. Has a half a dozen bunt singles. Ball 1. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Padres. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. It is a glorious time of day, 7 o'clock on a beautiful September evening. Fouled away. Sky overhead. The master painter is at it again. And then, of course, we have the luxury of looking out towards center field. And the mountains behind the trees and hills. What a time of day. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's going to cost. 1-2 to Everett Cabrera. In the Dodger bullpen, Randy Choate begins to loosen up. Waiting on deck, Will Venable. Two and 2 the count. Blanton has walked 2, 1 of them intentionally. One out, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Werner at first. Fouled away again. Cabrera has 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He has struck out 90 times. The difference playing the Padres in Arizona. Arizona had 6 guys who have struck out over 100 times. Padres have 2. And hit in the air to left center. Kemp on his horse to run it down. So Werner holds at first. Long out to left center, and the batter will be Will Venable. If you didn't know, the Giants rally came from down 7-4 after blowing a 4-0 lead. went 10 innings, and the Giants beat Arizona 9-8. Dodgers must win to remain 4.5 back. Venable singled to center and stole second, struck out in the third, walked in the fifth. And AJ out there to call a little meeting. So the Board of Trustees will meet at the mound. Everybody but Mark Ellis. AJ holding the meeting and everybody else listening. Two runs, 7 hits for the Padres, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, and the dangerous Will Venable coming up. Will single, struck out, walked, 1 for 2. Been a very hot hitter over the last 12 games, so let's see. Venable, a left-hand batter, Choate's in the pen, and now they're going to bring him in. It looks that way. Yep, third base umpire Eric Cooper waving with his cap. It's time for Randy Choate. It's time for Joe Blandon to leave. And of course, for Blandon, he hates to go out, can't win, could even lose after making 109 pitches. And we'll be back. Well, the Dodgers take out Joe Blandon. Tough spot for Joe to come out, but 109 pitches, I think, dictated the move as much as the left-hand hitter, because the Dodgers are not surprised that Bud Black would change from the left-hand hitting Venable to the right-hand hitting Logan Forsythe. So Choate's going to be facing a right-hander. And really, the way the managers think, apparently, Mattingly would rather have Choate pitch to Forsythe than perhaps a tiring Blandon to pitch to Venable. That's usually the way it works. Forsythe is hitting .274, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. He is 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter, and one of the 2 hits, a home run. He's from Memphis, Tennessee, and went to the University of Arkansas. Logan Forsythe. Randy Choate trying to get him out. 2 down. Werner at first, although I don't believe they're worrying about him stealing a base. (2-2) tie. Padres threatening in the 7th. And ball 1. In the Dodger bullpen, Ronald Belisario warming up. The Dodgers are very much shorthanded without Scott Elbert. You bring in Choate, who's basically a one-hitter pitcher, but then you don't have the other left-handed to counter later in the game. 1-1. Logan Forsythe was on Toon USA back in 2007. Randy Choate working on a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The pride of San Antone. Randy was originally drafted by the Yankees out of Florida State University. 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2. So Forsythe off the bench, and in a 1-2 count, 2 down. They're not holding Andrew Werner at first. One and two. And a comebacker off the glove of Choate. It's going to be picked up by Ellis, but no play. And Randy Choate walking around like he may be hurt or just frustrated. I think he might have been hurt. Yep. Left hand. Left thumb. They'll hold everything. The ball was hit sharply back to the box. Tried to backhand it, and apparently it missed the glove, and instead got his left thumb. Take another look. Right there. Mark Ellis didn't have a play as Randy Choate moving around, obviously in pain. So it'll be a base hit for Forsythe. First and second, and Chase Headley coming up. Randy is going to be allowed to make a toss or two to make sure the thumb will hold up. Yep. Okay, he said, I'm ready. So Chase Headley, a switch hitter whose numbers are a bit stronger left-handed than right. And now let's see. Choate suddenly is showing that left thumb again to Mattingly. I think the boys are saying to Choate, look, don't be a hero. If that thing is really hurting, and it's really hurting. So Randy Choate comes in. Logan Forsythe singles off his left thumb. Randy is forced to leave. Now we'll see about the Dodger bullpen. It's Ronald Belisario, and we'll be back. 4 players ever to hit 40 or more home runs in one season for the Padres. Who are the others? Greg Vaughn hit 50, Phil Nevin 41, and Ken Caminiti 40, plus Adrian. Now, among other things, we're going to have a runner, I believe. Werner, out there at second base, will give way to another left-handed pitcher, Clayton Richard. So Richard running for Werner. Dodgers thought they had it all set, in the sense when you are pitching to Chase Headley, I believe you'd much rather have him bat right-handed. Instead, Ronald Belisario has to relieve the injured Choate, and that Headley is now back hitting left-handed. And ball 1. Headley 1 for 5 in the past against Belisario. Chase a 2-run home run, fly to center, hit into a force play. All of his power left-handed. And a shot up the middle, base hit. Richard is around third. They will wave him in. Kemp has no play except to walk the ball back. And as one run comes in, Forsythe goes to third. That run, of course, is charged to Joe Blanton. So that's the last thing the Dodgers wanted. They had it all set for the left-hander to turn Headley around. And then Choate gets hurt. That means Headley can back left-handed, and that's his prime side. And he promptly bangs in his third run. Remember, we mentioned earlier about Headley with 3 RBIs. So for Don Mattingly, he made the perfect move, and then fate stepped in. Werner is now leading 3-2, but they'll have to go to the bullpen. And here's Yonder Alonso. Ball 1. Belisario, by the way, pitched yesterday, made 19 pitches and struck out the side. But now he comes in and gives up the single to Headley. Little dribble, a barehanded knockdown, and on his knees, Belisario throws him out. However, the damage is done, and at the end of 6.5, 3-2 Padres. And now, in special recognition of the military, USAA now presents the singing of God Bless America.
CP, please welcome back Graham Fenton.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
An offense say you never had it so good.
3-2 in favor of San Diego. As we look at the Dodger box score, you see some offers from second through 4. Meanwhile, at the plate, Luis Cruz singled and eventually scored a run. Logan Forsythe is now at second base. Alexi Amarista is in left field. Chris DeNorfia, who had been in left field, moves over to right field. And the new pitcher is Nick Vincent. He's from Poway and lives in Ramona. So somewhat of a local boy. An even 6, 175. And a 2-1 count to Luis Cruz. Nicholas Vincent, graduate of Ramona High School, went to both Palomar Junior College and Long Beach State. 2-1. And a high fly ball, but that's all it is. Amarista, the second baseman, playing left field, and we have one away. That'll bring up A.J. Ellis, who has struck out and flied to right. 0 for 2. The Padre relief pitchers have done reasonably well, but they're below average of allowing inherited runners to score. But Bud Black doing the best he can with what he has, and he has brought in Nicholas Vincent. That's a strike. Bobby Abreu is out on deck. He would bat for Belisario. Oh and 2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jamie Wright is up. Under the best laid plans of mice and men, put the name Don Mattingly. Had it all worked out. Randy Choate coming in to face Venable, knowing that there was going to be a switch. Forsythe the batter, but he didn't know that Forsythe would hit one off Randy's thumb. That turned Headley around with Belisario, which is not the way they wanted to pitch to Headley, but they had to. And hitting left-handed, sure enough, he singled to center, drove in the run. Fly ball to right field. Coming up is DeNorfia, and 2 down in the 7th inning. Abreu has now been called back, so they will switch hitters, and Nick Punto will come up and bat for Belisario.
Attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Dodgers, number 7, Nick Punto.
So Nick Punto off the bench. Dodgers yesterday used 4 pinch hitters. They used Kennedy, Rivera, A.J. Ellis, and Abreu. Tonight now they use their first pinch hitter in Punto. Punto hitting .200. Waiting on deck, Mark Ellis. 2 out, 7th inning. 3-2 San Diego. Slice down the left field line. A diving catch by Amarista. So the second baseman who goes into left field makes a huge play. Takes an extra base hit away from Punto. And at the end of 7, it remains Padres 3. 2 as we head to the 8th inning. Tomorrow night, Clayton Kershaw on the mound against the former Dodger, Eric Stokes. Stokes is doing well, a good ERA of 2.4. And, of course, Clayton trying to win his 13th on his 29th start compared to only 9 starts for Stokes. So Big Eric, who wore the blue, will be going after them tomorrow night against Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers seeing yet another left-hander. Jamie Wright is on the mound. The Dodgers seeing left-handers, and you'd figure must be very vulnerable to left-handers. However, they are 30-21. They are 9 games above 500 against left-handed starting pitching. Chris Denorfia, who started in left, now finishing in right, facing Jamie Wright. Denorfia just 0 for 1 against Wright. Ball 1. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Padres. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers.
6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, they were earned.
1 ball, no strikes in there. Down in the Padre bullpen, Dale Thayer begins to warm up. Of course, with September call-ups and being 14.5 back, Bud Black certainly can use some rather unknown quantities to see just how they pitch. So Bud has a look at Nick Vincent after looking at a great performance by Andrew Werner. And he has Thayer in the background. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Denorfia still there. 1 for 3. Chris grounded to third, single to center, struck out. Padres have 3 runs, and Chase Headley has knocked them all in. 2-2. Dodgers will have Mark Ellis, then Victorino and Gonzalez in the bottom of the 8th. Just missed off the plate. 3-2 the count. That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Waiting on deck, Cameron Maben. Three and two to Denorfia. And strike 3. Denorfia started to go to first base, but walks away without a whelp.
Batting next, center fielder number 24, Cameron Maben.
Just dropped in. He knew it. So 1 away in the 8th inning as Jamie picks up a strikeout. Cameron Maben has struck out twice and single to left. 1 for 3 with Alexi Amarista on deck. Little comebacker. Jamie lobbing it. So Maben goes 1 for 4. And in a moment, Amarista. Don't forget, Wednesday at 7:10, fans with the first 50,000 tickets at the game receive their very own Hello Kitty tote bag. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. That game will feature Clayton Richard and Aaron Harang. Amarista played second base, went 0 for 3, then went out into left field and made a dazzling diving catch on the ball hit by Punto. He bunts on the chalk and foul. Amarista trying to copy Cabrera. You have a lot of bunt singles, a lot of infield singles for the Padres. Cabrera has half a dozen bunt singles. Will Venable, who's not in the game, has 8 bunt singles. Oh and 1. Boy, for a little guy, he really winds up and swings. He has 5 home runs, but he never gets cheated. He really has a hack. Amarista, high would be 4 home runs in the minor leagues. And a shot up the middle. Ramirez behind the bag gets him. All right, Padres go down. Dodgers coming up. It'll be Mark Ellis, Shane Victorino, and Adrian Gonzalez. 3-2 San Diego.
All right, fans, it's time.
For 3, his second hit came in the 5th inning. Base hit to left field. Strong throw by Denorpia, but a hustling Cruz just got in. Baker never did control the throw anyway, and the Dodgers got on the board. So Mark will be followed by Victorino and Gonzalez facing Dale Thayer. Dale, born in Fountain Valley, lives in Huntington Beach, went to school at Chico State, attended Edison High School, originally drafted by the Cubs, but went back to school and eventually signed with the Padres out of a tryout camp. He's an even 6, 190, and he'll be 32 in December. Strike. 1-1. Mark Ellis batting .266. 5 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Basically fastball, slider, and a changeup coming from Thayer. 1-2. So we saw Nick Vincent in relief of Andrew Werner. Now we see Dale Thayer. And got him. Ellis can't believe the call, thinking that it was high and outside. The crew chief, Jeff Kellogg, the veteran plate umpire. Jeff, 20 years in the big leagues. Take a look. Fastball that he thought was high and away, and Kellogg rings him up. So Thayer picks up a strikeout, 1 down.
Left fielder, number 8,
Jeff Kellogg was the
Victorino.
plate umpire when Florida's Anibal Sanchez pitched a no-hitter against Arizona. He was the home plate umpire for Ubaldo Jimenez no-hitter against Atlanta. He's been around. 1 ball and no strikes. Victorino turning around now to hit left-handed. He had struck out, popped up, fouled out. 0 for 3. That's on the corner. 1-1. The league decided to hold over 3 of the umpires from the recently concluded 4-game series with Arizona. That's going to go foul down the line. They moved Marty Foster, but they brought in Jeff Kellogg. On Labor Day with a 5 o'clock game, the league didn't want to start flying umpires all over the United States. But they're only held over for tonight. We'll have a new crew tomorrow, we understand. Fly ball, very playable. Amarista going back and waiting. So we have 2 out in the 8th inning. Adrian Gonzalez coming up.
Dodgers first baseman, number 23, Adrian Gonzalez.
Now let's see, with a left-hand hitter coming up, Bud Black might make a move. He has 2 men in the pen. He has a left-hander, Tom Lane, and the right-hander, the veteran Luke Gregerson. And it looks like it's going to be Lane. He'll be right back. For your iPhone, iPad, BlackBerry, Android, and Windows Mobile. You can get live audio, pitch tracking, video, highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Bud Black brings in another pitcher, this time left-hander Tom Lane. Lane was called up from San Antonio 2 weeks ago. Made his debut in the game, striking out all 3 batters he faced in the 8th inning. They were McCann, Ugla, and Pasternicki. He has been dynamite against left-handers. They are 0 for 17 with 9 strikeouts. So Tom Lane is asked to get a very good left-hand hitter by the name of Adrian Gonzalez, so he is indeed being put to the test. So it's been Werner, then Vincent, then Thayer for 2 outs, and now we'll see about Lane and Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez has always hit well against left-handers. In fact, he came into the game hitting .298 against left-handers. Adrian tonight has walked, lined out to left, grounded to first. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-2 in favor of San Diego. We mentioned at the very start, this would be the 13th meeting between the two teams. 5 of those games decided by 1 run. Breaking ball whacked into center for a base hit, and that means a guy hitting .420 against left-handers, Matt Kemp, will be coming up. Now they had Luke Gregerson throwing in the pen along with Lane, and sure enough, Bud's going to make a double switch apparently. So Gonzalez ropes one into center, and we have time. We'll be right back. The game in left field. Then he went over to right. Now he's gone back to left. Mark Kotsay comes into the game with the veteran right-hander Luke Gregerson. That means Kotsay would bat 9th and bat 2nd in the 9th inning. Gregerson would go in Amarista's spot. So Luke Gregerson, a veteran indeed. Gregerson, 6'3", a little over 200-pounder, out of Illinois. Gregerson came up to San Diego 3 years ago, and he'll be facing Matt Kemp. Gregerson leading the team with 22 holes, and he'll now go head-to-head with Matt Kemp. So Matt Kemp coming up, and Gregerson waiting for him. Kemp is hitting .571 against Gregerson. 4 for 7 with a home run. So the one thing that spoiled everything for Bud Black was the base hit by Gonzalez against the left-handed Tommy Lane. So now advantage Dodgers, it would seem, as Matt checks in. Kemp is 0 for 3, struck out twice. 2 out. And a strike, 0-1. Slider, 1 ball and 1 strike. For Luke Gregerson, he has inherited 22 runners this year, and 5 have scored. Mad batting .328. Meanwhile, Adrian having a conversation with Yonder Alonso. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball 2. Waiting on deck, Hanley Ramirez. Padres got 2 in the first inning, but the Dodgers came back and scored in the 5th and 6th to tie it up. Padres took the lead in the 7th, and now here we are in the bottom of the 8th. Gonzalez at first with 2 out. Slider, 2-2. Gregerson has averaged a little bit better than a strikeout per inning. Slider. 60 innings, he has struck out 62. And this crowd, 33,540. Everybody up for Matt Kemp. Gonzalez at first, 3-2 Padres, 2 out, bottom of the 8th, and a 3-2 count. There goes Adrian, and a little roller. It'll be the shortstop having to hurry, and he nips Kemp at first base. Clutch play by Everett Cabrera as Kemp was running for his life down the line. And they're off the hook, and at the end of 8, Padres 3, Dodgers 2. As we go to the 9th inning, it'll be the left-hand hitting catcher John Baker, followed by Mark Kotze, and then Everett Cabrera. John Baker's single to center was walked intentionally and flied to left. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Padres, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. Dodgers have used Blanton and Choate, Belisario, and Wright in his second inning. Padres Werner, Vincent, Thayer, Lane, and Gregerson. Foul back, 0-1. Baker hitting .240. Check swing for a strike. 0-2 to John Baker. Houston Street is normally the closer for San Diego. Ball 1. However, Street, as you can see, is in the dugout, kind of banged up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Foul tipped, and down goes Baker. So one away here in the top of the ninth. Wright strikes out his second
Right fielder,
man.
number 14, Mark Kotze.
And here's Mark Kotze, the veteran outfielder. Mark hitting .269. He has 1 home run, 11 runs batted in. And when we say veteran, 16 years in the big leagues. Off speed and low, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Mark. Mark Kotze is from Whittier, lives in San Diego. The Marlins drafted him first. He was going to school at Cal State Fullerton. This time a little ground ball and the second out.
Shortstop, number 2, Everett Cabrera.
So 2 down in the ninth inning. Everett Cabrera, the shortstop, who made a big play to throw out Kemp. Boy, Matt was digging as hard as he can run. And Cabrera on a slow hit ground ball was just able to throw him out. Cabrera flied to left, bunted for a base hit and stole second. Since then has struck out, flied to center, so he's 1 for 4. And ball 1. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the ninth, down by 1, Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier, Luis Cruz. Fastball hit to short. Ramirez. Another nice inning, 6 in a row retired by Jamie Wright. And we're heading for the bottom of the ninth, 3-2 San Diego. Hanley Ramirez broke the spell in the 6th inning when he hit a home run with 2 out and the bases empty. Cameron Maybin just missed taking it away from him. So Hanley will be leading off in the 9th inning. We mentioned that under normal circumstances, Houston Street would be pitching, but he went on the DL the middle of August with a sprained calf, and he aggravated it Thursday during wind sprints. He just becomes a spectator where you know he would love to be in there right now. So Luke Gregerson, who usually gets the hold, is now trying to pick up the save. And a strike. For Street, by the way, he has 21 saves. For Gregerson, he has 3 saves and a bunch of holes. 0-2 the count to Hanley Ramirez. Checking Ramirez against Gregerson. 0 for 3. 1-2 to count to Hanley, batting .257. 24 home runs, 84 runs batted in. Two and two. The Dodgers in one-run games are 24-21. Waiting on deck, Andre Ethier. The Padres in one-run games are exactly 18-18. 2-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Fastball at 92, foul back. In case you are unaware of it, the Giants came from behind. Actually, they blew a 4-0 lead. They were behind 7-4. Battled, scored runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings to tie it up, and won it in the 10th. So the Dodgers hurting. If they lose, they're 5.5 back. 2-2 to Ramirez. Slider, did he swing? Yes. So Hanley Ramirez hits a home run, but he also strikes out 3 times. That time chasing the slider. It just ran away from him, and he got that bat out. So 1 out in the 9th inning, and Andre Ethier the batter. Ethier against Gregerson, hitting .333, 2.46 in the past. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Padres, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. That's ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Good fastball, 91. Psychologically, you wouldn't think it is, but it is a major difference to pitch the 8th inning and get a hold and the 9th inning to get a save. It's a totally different game mentally. 2-1. Adrian Gonzalez, no doubt remembering when he was a Padre. Hanley Ramirez has the home run to think about. Luis Cruz, 2 for 3. He and Mark Ellis, the only Dodgers with 2 hits. And of course, Matt Kemp has drawn blanks. High fly ball into right center field to the wall. At the wall, gone. Kopse couldn't handle it, and the Dodgers have tied it up on a home run by Andre Ethier. His 16th home run, 79 runs batted in, and the Dodgers have caught Gregerson and the Padres. For Gregerson, the 7th home run that he has allowed this year. And now here's Luis Cruz, 0-1. The Kopse to the wall. Ethier gets a hug from Adam Kennedy, and the game is tied 3-3. Slider, check swing, swing, says Tim Timmons. 0-2 the count to Cruz. So the Dodgers, with 1 out in the 9th inning, get a game-tying home run by Andre Ethier. Line drive off the glove of Everett Cabrera, and that's a base hit for Cruz. That's his 3rd of the game. Take another look at Andre Ethier's home run. towering fly ball. Kotze went back to the track. Gregerson was sweating it out, and it cleared the wall. And as we mentioned, it's a huge difference between getting a hold in the 8th inning and trying to pick up a save in the 9th. And the Dodgers fight back to get 3-3 in the 9th. Ball 1 to A.J. Ellis. So Cruz 3 for 4, climbing up the ladder over 300, doing very well. Bobby Abreu comes out on deck. He would bat for right. Crowd really coming alive following the home run. 1 ball and no strikes. Luis Cruz over there at first base has 2 stolen bases. He's been caught once. Luis, by the way, is now batting .304. In there. 1-1 to A.J. Ellis. Struck out and twice flied to right. So Werner, Vincent, Thayer, Lane, Gregerson. And Gregerson gives up the 1-out home run, and Houston Street thinks about what it might have been had he been ready to pitch. Fastball fouled away. 1-2 to A.J. Ellis. For Bud Black, it looked like everything was going his way, especially when Randy Choate was hurt for the Dodgers. Now it's turned back against him. Slider, and down goes AJ. So 2 out, Cruz holding, and Bobby Abreu will be coming up.
Your attention, please, for the Dodgers pinch hitting number 12, Bobby Abreu.
So Bobby Abreu with the Dodgers earlier, then went to Albuquerque because he wanted to stay within the organization. Called up, September call-up, and here he is. Abreu 0 for 1 since coming up, hitting .250. Bobby with 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Cruz trying to take a good lead. Fastball outside corner, 0-1. Bobby Abreu was 6 for 20 as a pinch hitter. Well, that's 300. And he has a couple of RBIs. Ground foul, 0-2. Dodgers use Nick Punto in the 7th inning. He hit a drive into left field, and Alexei Amarista, the second baseman who was in the outfield, made a diving catch for the out. Punto alongside of Jamie Wright. 0-2 the count. Bobby Abreu. One and 2. Abreu not only hitting .300, he's also walked 3 times as a pinch hitter. Mark Ellis on deck. 3-3, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. Giants had to rally in the 9th to force their game into overtime, and they beat the D-backs. 2-2. So Luke Gregerson, the fifth pitcher, had just struck out Hanley Ramirez and gave up the home run to Andre Ethier to tie up the game. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Padres. And here's Abreu, 2-2. Ground ball backhanded at first by Alonso, and that's that. However, that is in capital letters. A 1-out, 9th inning, game-tying home run by Andre Ethier, and we're heading for the 10th in a 3-3 tie. Not only keeps the Dodgers in the game, but for the moment keeps them right behind the Giants. A victory would still be 4.5 back, but the Dodgers would certainly take that over what they were looking at before Andre's blast. So now Brandon League will be the 5th Dodger pitcher. Blanton followed by Choate, who hurt his thumb, then Belisario and Wright, and now Brandon League. So for Wright, Jamie pitched 2 strong innings, retired 6 in a row, struck out 2. Logan Forsythe came in as a pinch hitter, and he's the one who singled off Choate's hand to knock him out of the game, and now he's hit on the hand. So Logan Forsythe hit by the pitch from Brandon League and goes to first. So Forsythe at first, a little annoyed. Bud Black over now to make sure he's okay. Forsythe, that would be the 6th time this year that he's been hit by a pitch.
Batting next, third baseman, Chase Headley.
So now here comes Chase Headley against Brandon League. Headley has driven in 3 runs. He has a 2-run home run and then the big single in the 7th inning. 0-1. In that inning, remember, Choate came in and he was going to turn Headley around about right-handed, except Forsythe hurt him. Choate couldn't continue. Belisario was brought in. Then Headley went to the stronger side, batting left-handed. Sure enough, single to center to drive in the run that put the Padres in front. But Ethier squares it up, and we're in the 10th. For the Padres in extra innings, they're 3-5. For the Dodgers in extra innings, they're 6-5. and Ethia put him there. 10th inning, 3-3. Sinker in the dirt. Nice block by A.J. Chase Headley with another 3 RBI game. Coming off a 6 RBI game yesterday. So that's quite something. 9 RBIs in 2 games. Fouled away with the runner going, and it's still 1-2. With the 3 RBIs in this game tonight, Chase Headley now has 13 games this year where he's had 3 or more RBIs. That's the most since Adrian Gonzalez had 13 3 RBI games back in 2007. 1-2 the count to Chase Headley. Forsythe, who was going on that last pitch, has stolen 6 out of 8. Padres have 1 stolen base tonight, but it is a running ball club. They have 121 stolen bases. There he goes again. Missed at the plate, and the throw not in time. So Headley strikes out, but Forsythe is now 7 for 9 in stolen bases. And the batter will be Yonder Alonso. Just got the hand in there before the tag, right there. And then the late tag. Question, of course, stay on the bag. And he did. Alonso is 0 for 4. First baseman flied to right, grounded to second, hit into a double play and hit back to the box. And they will take their chances on Denorfia and walk Alonso. So in a moment, first and second, 1 out in the 10th in a 3-3 tie. Chris Denorfia is playing because Carlos Quentin was in the starting lineup, and then the word came out his right knee was bothering him, and so Denorfia got in the game. He started in left field, went to right, and he's finishing up back in left field. He is also 1 for 4, grounded to third, single to center, and struck out twice in the 6th and in the 8th. Struck out in the 6th inning against Blanton, struck out in the 8th inning against Wright. 3-3 in the 10th inning. Forsythe at second. Alonso at first. Big bouncer to third, on the bag for 1, across the diamond for 2. 5-3 double play, no runs, no hits, a man left at the end of 9 1/2, a 3-3 tie. And Bud Black brings in his 6th pitcher of the game. That would be Brad Brock out of Freehold, New Jersey. He was the Padres' 42nd round pick, 2008. Went to Monmouth University. Started out in the Arizona Winter League and has worked his way up. Basically fastball, splitter, and slider. Brad Brock coming in to start the inning. We do know that he has worked very well, especially on the first hitter he faces. The first hitter is batting 188. His first hitter tonight is Mark Ellis, who is 2 for 4. And hammered foul down the line, 0-1 the count. Mark Ellis had a key base hit in the 5th inning. His single scored Luis Cruz. That got the Dodgers on the board. Then the next inning, Ramirez homered to tie up the game. Pop foul, should go out of play. Johnny Baker comes over for a look, but it's back in. 3-3 in the 10th. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Padres. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. Game 1 of the 3-game series. When this series ends, the Dodgers then will go to San Francisco and Arizona. 0-2. Slider for ball 1. Brad Brock is 6'6", 210 pounds, 26 years old. Works quickly. Fastball poked down the left field line, going foul and into the stand. So at 6'6", Brad Brock becomes the 6th pitcher. He likes to work from the third base side of the rubber. So let's see where he positions himself now. And he has moved over to the first base side of the rubber. So that's a big change for a pitcher. Slider hit wide of third. Headley is on it. 1 away. 1 out in the 10th inning. And Shane Victorino followed by Adrian Gonzalez.
Shane Victorino.
Victorino is 0 for 4. Struck out, popped up, fouled out, flied out. Hitting .256. Ball 1. Brock 1 and 4. ERA of 4.4. He's allowed 9 home runs. Adrian Gonzalez on deck. In the dirt. 2-0. That might have been the splitter. Came up with the Padres last year, very briefly, just 9 games. That's a strike. Boy, he pitches in a hurry, doesn't he? Gets the ball, steps on the rubber, he's ready. Splitter for sure. 2-2. A little surprising yesterday with J.J. Putz, who has made a tremendous living with the splitter. Yet he got beaten 0-2 with a fastball up out over the plate. 3-2 the count to Victorino. Of course, it's the old story. There was Gonzalez at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Just everybody in the ballpark figuring, okay, he'll get a splitter. And Putz figures he'll be looking splitter. I'll come fastball. Little foul out of play. And yesterday, Adrian was ready. Got the 0-2 fastball and doubled, and the Dodgers won the game. So that's a great part of the game. You're up there and you're wondering, is it going to be his strength? Is it going to be the pitch that everybody in the park is looking for? Got him with a fastball at 94, by the way. So Victorino goes 0 for 5, strikes out twice.
First baseman.
Fastball with some movement on it. And here's Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez walked, lined out to left, grounded to first, and singled to center in the 8th inning. He singled against the left-hander Tommy Lane, whom they have brought in. That was the first hit a left-hand batter had gotten against Lane this year. Fouled away. 0-1. A lot of first pitch strikes against the Dodgers tonight. A bunch of them when Werner was pitching. And comes back with a change. Meanwhile, the Padres load up the right side of the infield. That means Headley's all alone between second and third. 0-2. Fastball at 94. Three, bottom of the 10th. Cameron Maben shading him a little bit towards left center in the dirt. One ball and 2 strikes to Adrian. Two and 2. That looked like a slitter from up here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Werner, Vincent, Thayer, Lane, Gregerson, and Brock. Blanton, Choate, Belisario, Wright, and League. And Matt Kemp on deck with 2 out. Got him. So Gonzalez strikes out. Nice inning for Brock. Strikes out 2, and at the end of 10, a 3-3 tie. Tie. Cameron Maben followed by Brock the pitcher and then Baker the catcher. Carlos Quinton, who couldn't start because he has a balky right knee, but Quinton is now out on deck. So it's Maben followed by Quinton followed by Baker. Fouled away. Cameron Maben struck out in single, struck out and hit back to the box. 1 for 4. Maben came into the game hitting .240. He has a half a dozen home runs, 39 runs batted in. Quinton on deck will present a problem. The on-deck hitter has 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. One and two. Cracked bat. Foul ball actually hits Quinton on the foot. 1-2 the count. Boy, those things are so dangerous. Remember that night, San Diego, when Steve Yeager was on deck, the bat splintered, and the huge splinter got Steve right in the neck. One ball and two strikes. Fouled away. Maybe the most horrifying one I ever saw, however, was in spring training. We were in Vero Beach. Dodgers were playing the Cardinals. The pitcher was Larry Jackson. Duke Snyder was the hitter. Broke his bat. The bat got Jackson in the mouth. 1-2. Missed him at the hands. 2-2 to Cameron Maben. Maben, for the last 13 games, hitting .478. So there's a hot hitter up there at the plate. Ball three. And should Maben get on, he'll put more pressure because he has stolen 25 bases. 25 out of 31. A lot of pressure on AJ if indeed Maben gets aboard. And it's 3-2. And it's going to be hit and picked by Gonzalez for the out. So Maben, soft line drive to the Gold Glove at first base. One out. And here comes Quinton.
Your attention, please. For the Padres, pinch hitting, number 18, Carlos Quinton.
As a right-handed batter, the troublesome knee is the back leg. Quinton hitting .265, 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Over the last 13 games, however, he has been struggling. Ball one. In fact, I misread that. He's doing pretty well. 4 for 13 on the road trip. Last 13 games, hitting .292. One and one. Chase Headley, the one-man gang for San Diego so far. 3 RBIs for the 13th game this year. Ball two. 2-1 to Carlos Quinton. Carlos from Bellflower, lives in Chula Vista. He had Tommy John surgery about 9 years ago when he was going to school at Stanford. Originally drafted by the D-backs. And he strokes it to center, but there's Kemp. So Quinton, a fly ball to center, and the batter now will be John Baker. Baker singled, walked intentionally, flied to left, and struck out. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 11th, Matt Kemp, Hanley Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. Ball one. Baker followed by Mark Kotze. One ball and no strikes. And hard ground ball by the diving Ellis. So Baker a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Kotsay. Baker goes 2 for 4 with that base hit. Kotsay got into the game in a double switch and grounded out in his only at bat. Mark, 16 years in the big leagues. Kotsay from Whittier, as we mentioned. He's the son of a retired police officer, a motorcycle patrolman for the LAPD. So Brandon League working on Kotsay. Mark hitting .269, 1 home run, 11 runs batted in, 0 for 1 tonight. Way out in front, 0-1. Kotsay, an even 6, 205-pounder, agrees football was his big joy and first love. Fresno State wanted him to play baseball and football, but he went to Cal State Fullerton. 0-2. When he was only 6 years old, Mark was a national champion BMX racer, off-road bicycles in other words. But he stopped racing when he was 7 because he was missing too much school. He was a big man on campus at Cal State Fullerton. He is a far cry from the Kotsay of years ago, I can tell you that. So we're going to the bottom of the 11th in a 3-3 tie. .3-3 tie. Matt Kemp, Hanley Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. On the mound, a 24-year-old right-hander. He'll be 25 in October, and that would be Corey Burns. He lives over in Glendale. He was born in Phoenix. Came up this year, made his big league debut on the 4th of August against the New York Mets. So he has a major assignment here against the heart of the Dodger lineup. Corey attended the University of Arizona. Here's Matt Kemp. Fly to center, struck out twice, grounded to short, 0 for 4. And a strike. Corey Burns, no record in his 10th game. 6 walks, 10 strikeouts. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1 to count to Matt. Kemp drawing blanks tonight, had at least 1 hit in 14 straight games against the Padres. And a high fly ball into shallow right center, and backing all the way out there to get it is Logan Forsythe. So Kemp goes 0 for 5, 1 away.
Shortstop number 13, Hanley Ramirez.
Hanley Ramirez has had a strange night. He is 1 for 4. Hit a big home run in the 6th inning to tie up the game, but he also struck out 3 times. So Hanley hitting .257, now has 24 home runs, 84 runs batted in. Ball 1. Hanley with 9 home runs in his last 18 games. A little ground ball to short, charging, picking is Cabrera to get him. So 2 out in the 11th. And the man who got us this far coming up, Andre Ethier against Luke Gregerson, and clears the right field wall. That tied up the game with 1 out in the 9th, and here we are with 2 out in the 11th. Most walk-offs, the Duke and Gill, and then Andre and Matt. Three runs, 10 hits for the Padres. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers in the 11th. Ball 1. Andre 16 home runs, 79 runs batted in. Ball 2. 2-0. Corey Burns from Arizona. Looked like a change floating up in there. 2-1 to count. Matt Kemp waiting and hoping. And a line drive base hit into right field for Ethier. So Andre will hold on. And Luis Cruz, who has 3 hits tonight, coming up, batting .304.
27, Luis Cruz.
Cruz single to left in the 2nd inning, single to center and scored a run in the 5th. Flied to left in the 7th, single to left in the 9th. 3 for 4. I think he's hitting .304. Ball 1. Nice save by Baker. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Ethier isn't much of a threat to steal. He's stolen 2, caught 1. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be Cruz's 4th hit. Ethier's going to keep on going to 3rd, and the winning run is 90 feet away. So what a night for Luis Cruz. 4 hits.
Dodger pitcher number 17.
And here's A.J. Ellis, 0 for 4 with a chance to win it. As we always do with any pitcher, when there's a runner at third, we check. Burns has been in 9 games, does not have a wild pitch. And for Cruz, with 4 hits tonight, he's now batting .308. Strike. Ellis struck out, twice flied to right, struck out again. 33,540 watching the Dodgers labor to get a winning run. There goes the runner, Cruz. That's defensive indifference. But what it does do, it takes the easy force play away from San Diego. No stolen base. Now you have Adam Kennedy coming out on deck. And we'll see if Bud Black wants to pitch to Ellis or not. Ethier at third, Cruz at second, 2 out in the 11th. And 0-2 the count to A.J. Ellis. And that's going to be a base hit to right field. Ethier scores. Dodgers win it 4-3. A.J. Ellis, the hero of the moment, with 2 out. The Dodgers had 3 consecutive singles by Ethier, Cruz, and A.J. Ellis. The third base hit is the charm. So despite the fact they stay where they are, they didn't lose any ground. And the Dodgers remain 4.5 back with 6 to play against the Giants. 4 runs, 11 hits for the Dodgers, who were fortunate to get the home run by Ethier in the 9th to send it into extra innings. And then they have A.J. Ellis come up with a key base hit and the victory. For the Dodgers, that is the 10th walk-off win. Only Oakland has more, 13. And for A.J. Ellis, he has 3 walk-off hits, and that grin on his face is worth an entire buck. So the Dodgers remain 4.5 back. Game 1 tomorrow night. It'll be Clayton Kershaw against the former Dodger Eric Stokes, and then it'll be Clayton Richard, the final game, against Aaron Harang. So a crowd of 33,540 go home, most of them happy, as the Dodgers come back to tie and win and remain 4.5 back of the Giants. See you tomorrow night. Till then, we wish you all a good evening, everybody.
All right, Vin, thank you very much. Down here on the field with A.J. Ellis. A.J., you guys are killing us with this late offense, man, but we're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's another great night, great comeback win. Andre, obviously, with the big hit in the 9th. He let us keep playing. Great pitching all night, especially from our bullpen. It's a great team win tonight.
Talk about that swing from Andre. Fouled off a pitch right before that. Came right back, put another great swing on a ball. Hit it out of here, gave you guys a chance to win.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a clutch performer. He's got a lot of walk-off hits in his career, and that was another big one to add to his resume tonight.
Sitting behind the plate for this long, the concentration has to stay there. Talk about the effort from all of your pitchers tonight. Outstanding job.
Yeah, well, Joe Blanton set the tone. Just to be out there and battle the way he did, keep us in the game, give us a chance to catch up. And then our bullpen guys, Jamie Wright, Brandon League, all these guys just keep giving us this offense opportunities, and we're going to score runs.
Do you feel it coming? Every night we talk about this, we see it late. I think a lot of the fans would like to see it maybe before the 5th inning, too.
I think we would, too. We're a much better team when we get a lead and out in front. And we need to do a better job scoring in the early innings, and that's something we're going to do a better job of coming up.
Shredder Punto found you. Tell me what that's all about.
We've heard rumors, heard stories about the myth of the Shredder Punto. You hit a walk-off hit, you lose your jersey, it's coming off. And 2 nights in a row. Hopefully we just win one, the old traditional one tomorrow.
Finally, you got more wet than I did.
That's just becoming a growing trend.
You know what? I'll stand out here and get wet every night if you guys want to keep doing this.
It sounds good to me.
All right, AJ, good job. All right, Dodgers Live is coming up right after this break. We got Patrick O'Neill out there in center field.